The year is 2024. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe's Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in, folks. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 382 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez, and my co-host, as always, is
the magistrate of Caravan City and Gomez, the major award winner, 2023 Major Bendy Figure of the Year winner, as voted on by the Major Marks. I'm Captain Joe Shoes from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are, babe. You deserve that shit. That is nice.
I got a plaque.
Look at that. That thing is sexy.
Yeah, right?
Ooh.
I didn't think this was gonna happen. I didn't think I was gonna get a plaque for it. I thought it was a joke because when they filmed their awards for the end of the year, they had like a graphic with the plaque in it, you know?
Sure.
And I tweeted, "Where do I pick up my fucking plaque?" And people responded to me saying, "Hey, at Live 18, if we're not giving Shoes the plaque, what are we even doing here?" And I agreed. And I was going to have my own plaque made up. And I was going to surprise them. Like when I come on stage, I was going to pull out a plaque and be like, I got one. And then this past weekend, we had Live 18 at Tin Roof in Orlando, the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. We had some big time guests. I made new friends. I'm friends with Ricky Morton now. Savio Vega hit me.
I saw that, Joe. I mean, I don't want to say nothing. It looked like assault to me. I don't want to get Theo in trouble, but you can't be slapping people like that. Come on, what are we doing?
Yo, I was just trying to sit down, have something to eat, and have a drink. And this is after the show, and Savio was just so cool. And he was having a good time, and he was all about hanging out. And at one point, he goes, "Hey, you!" I was like, "Uh-oh, like what? What did I do?" I was friends with Savio all night. We had gimmick tables next to each other. What just happened? And he's like, "They want to see you take it now." And then he goes into his whole Quang the Ninja routine.
He did.
And Money just physically assaulted me in front of a large group of people.
Oh, they got witnesses all over. How's your chest? You got a nice. Ooh, we got.
And then he must have really liked it because he started his own "one more time" chant. And he hit me a second time.
Oh my goodness! I didn't see the second one. Oh no! Wow! And you're still standing. I can't believe it.
I'm still standing because I am a man amongst men.
Love it.
But really, really good time. It was nice to kind of get back into the world a little bit. Honestly, I was kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like if I really wanted to be out all weekend like that, you know,
Sure.
We're always filming for a vlog or something else. So I really didn't want a camera on me all the time. It can be tiring, especially when you feel like you got to be on for the camera and stuff. I kind of just wanted I would have loved to have like just a low key weekend with my friends. There's nothing low key about anything we do for like show weekends like this. But we went out Friday, had a nice dinner, went to one of my favorite Disney restaurants, the Boathouse. Had a lovely steak, some firecracker shrimp. It was good stuff. Some drinks, hung out.
Delicious.
At the house, we had a very nice Airbnb, just like we did last year in Orlando.
I love when you get the houses. It's so good. I love it.
It makes sense.
It does.
Well, number one, Orlando, because we like pretty much everyone who works for the Major Pod comes in for the Orlando shows or whatever. I don't know why that became the thing, but TTD comes in from England. You know, you have all the people from Boston and New York and me and Matt from Orlando. Billy Peck, who does a lot of social media and moderates the Facebook group, he's from like Nebraska. So D Freedom comes in from Ohio. So there's people coming in from everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice to have everyone together and hanging out. There's a lot of bonding and getting to know each other because you don't get to spend a lot of time with these people on a social level. But it's always a good time. I've made some very good friends here. Obviously, Kinnick and I were roommates again.
Love it.
We had the frozen room again. But this was a different frozen room. Obviously, we're in a different house than last time. We had a frozen room again, but this one was bunk beds. But it was really made for like a 4-person room. Like it was shaped like an L. So there was a twin bed on one side and then like a full-size bed coming down the other way perpendicular. And then there was a bunk level. So you had the same thing, like 2 more beds going that way. Obviously, neither Kinnick or I is going to climb up a ladder to get into bed.
Damn. I was gonna ask who got top bunk.
But the whole thing is set up. It looks like you're in like a glacier. So there's like a hole, and you got to like crawl into the glacier to get into your bed. And on the inside, there's a nook in the middle. So Kinnick and I could look at each other. So we'd set up my iPad right in the middle. That way we could both watch G.I. Joe as we slept.
Adorable. I love you guys.
And then Ricky Morton, WWE Hall of Famer Ricky Morton, wrestling,
hanging out with Ricky Morton. That's amazing, bro.
So we wake up one morning and Ricky gets up and we're like, I go downstairs, I go, Uber Eats some breakfast. And Ricky goes, "Hey, who was the big guy that I saw climbing out of the wall to get out of bed?" That was me. But Ricky Morton, cool as shit, man. What a dude. What a brother. Awesome guy. And that's what I like about these shows too, is like, because there's like no one, I mean, for me as like being part of the show, because it's not like you all got to sit there and call your spots. It's very relaxed. It's very chill. You're like chilling in the back, hanging out, talking to these people. I'm getting stories from Ricky Morton about Southwest Championship Wrestling.
Crazy.
So it's just a lot of fun. It ended up being a very good weekend. I got surprised, obviously, with the plaque. Matt Bryan had this plaque made, which was nice. I wasn't expecting that. And I just thought I was going to come in, say thank you, for voting for me and exit the stage. I wasn't planning on doing anything more than that. Like, "Oh, Shoes, before you leave, here, we got something for you." And they give me my major award, this plaque, which is going to occupy a very prominent space in my humble abode. And then I go, this is really cool. Definitely surprised by it. And I go to leave again. They go, "Oh, we got one more surprise." They go, "Take a look at that video screen. And we're going to put that in right here."
All right, fellas, you want to listen up to this. My name's Eric Bugenhagen, formerly known as Rick Boogs, and I want to deliver a message here to the one, the only, Captain Joe Shoes! Yeah, Captain. Holy buckets. Winning a freaking bendy. And it's not the first. You are a multi-time Bendy Award winner. You're right. I did a little Googling. I did a little research. And also found that your name in a previous life was Major Sex Power. Maximus Sex Power. Even better, even cooler. Freaking Captain Joe. Holy buckets, brother. You and I were like this. 2 peas in a freaking pod. At one point, I had the killer stash, okay? I, as well, like to wear giant glasses, not aviators, not as, freaking masculine as yours. These are women's glasses. And I wish that I had the sailor's cap, okay? Because at one point, just because we're 2 freaking peas in a pod and we're clicking, at one point, I wanted to be the captain as well of the Boogs cruise. But that ship had set sail. But for you, Joe, Captain freaking Joe, your ship is cruising on all freaking cylinders, winning awards, doing the freaking YouTube cooking shows, getting the hottest top of the line action figures this world has to offer. Joe, my heart goes out to you. You're goddamn right, Captain Joe Shoes.
That's right, Gomez.
That's amazing, bro.
My double, my triple, my quadruple.
So cool.
Main man. Eric Bugenhagen, the former Rick Boogs.
I love it. It's amazing, bro. That's so awesome they did that. That's so cool.
I believe that. So afterwards, I find out he was going to be there. They were going to have him come in and surprise me with the plaque.
Shit your pants, bro.
And he had something come up, so he had to cancel late. But he goes, hey, if it's okay, I can do a video. So they give him whatever. And they were expecting like, from what Brian told me, they were expecting like, he'll give us like a 30-second video. It'll still be cool, whatever. He filmed like a 2-minute video where he knew stuff about me. And then obviously we know the Rick Boog story. 2 years ago at the toy drive, I find this Rick Boogs figure. I didn't know who he was before this. The figure stands out to me as I see it sitting on the shelf at Ringside Collectibles. They let me take one home. I'm all about Rick Boogs. Every time he has posted on Instagram since, I would comment on his post and write, "Goddamn right, Rick Boogs." And he finishes this video with "Goddamn right, Joe Shoes." So he's got to know, right? Like he definitely has to know.
Bro, you did it on every single one. He has to know. I bet if you were late one day, he probably went, "Hey, I didn't get my guy.
Is this guy okay?
What's going on?" Come on. That is so awesome.
So yeah, really nice to be kind of back out and having a little fun, getting to meet a lot of the fans. People come. I sold the last handful of Major Bendy's figures that I did have. People bringing the ones that they had up to me to get signed. And JoeMeZ, it's one thing to have a figure of yourself. Sure. Unbelievably cool.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's a second thing when you're like genuinely happy with it, you know? Like it can very easily be a bad figure. You're still happy you got a figure, but it could be bad. But I love my figure. Like I love it. It's great. So now I have a figure. It's amazing. It's an award-winning Major Bendy figure. And then to have people bring it to you and ask you to sign it. My God, I can't even explain how cool that is. And for the people who do that on the regular, I hope you don't lose sight of how cool that is. Because I remember being that guy trying to get figures signed, and I got Kane, and I met The Godfather and Rob Van Dam. And all these people, and I would have their autograph, basically the entire ECW roster. I used to have the entire set of ECW figures autographed and hang it on my wall. Yes, and to me, that was like the coolest thing. And now I get to be that guy. And it is one of the coolest things in the world. It really is. And I mean that. And I got a nice little clap and applause from the fans at the show. We had such a good time, and it really meant a lot. And I if you guys were there, I did get to meet a bunch of people who listen to this show as well. So that was really nice. A bunch of people came up, gave me some well wishes. Obviously, people know what I've been going through. And it was a really nice night. I had a really good day, and I'm very thankful. It's I being older now, I'm able to appreciate these things more than when I'm younger. And it's just, you do it, it's cool, but now it's on to the next thing. Now I kind of sit back and I take a day and I appreciate it, and I kind of get to live in the moment for a little bit. And this one's going to mean a lot for a while. So for all you guys that came out, it felt like everyone had a good time. It was a really fun evening. After the show, the hangout at the bar, everybody drinking, having a good time. It was a really nice night out.
That's awesome. Love to hear that. That's good shit.
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Leave a 5-star review. It's 2024, guys. It's a brand new year, brand new movies to watch, brand new reviews to leave. Let's hit 100 reviews on iTunes, Apple Podcasts this year. We're at like 54. We can do this. Grab your wife's phones, your boyfriend's phones, your girlfriend's phones, your dog's phones. I know that dogs have phones because there was an episode of Married with Children where Buck gets a credit card. So if Buck can have a credit card back in 1992, your dog can have a phone in 2024 because this is the future. All dogs go to heaven and have iPhones.
Did the dog did Buck use did he use the credit card?
No, it
Like
got sent to the house by mistake, so Al used it as his own, thinking he wouldn't have to pay the balance.
That sounds like a good episode.
It is a good episode. They go to like some kind of luxury spa resort, and then he ends up having to work off the balance, and his name tag says Buck.
I love it. That's good. Oh man.
So JoeMeZ, that was my weekend. Very happy to be here. Very happy to be friends with Savio Vega now. You know, one of my favorite things is, and this is getting back to the weekend a little bit. I don't mean to keep circling back, but I love that the little bit of fame I have, or the what my being in the wrestling business, I love being able to share that with my real life civilian friends who like wrestling but aren't in the business. And a couple years ago, I got to spend a weekend with Scott Hall. I brought my buddy Pete with us. You know, he had sushi with Scott Hall, got to hang out. You know, this is Razor Ramon. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
And this weekend, our buddy Armando's a big Savio Vega fan. So when I meet Savio Vega, he was in a great mood all day. I start talking to him and I'm like, you know, my friend Armando is a big fan. It meant a lot to him that you were a Latino when we were, you know, high school age, whatever, you know, and I understand that a lot better now as an adult. Like, I didn't know what the fuck representation meant, you know, as a 14-year-old, or why it was important. But I tell Savio he was a big fan, and it means a lot. He still wears your t-shirts. He's always, you know, kind of keeping up with what you're doing. Whenever we see anything Savio Vega, we send it to him. And he goes, oh, no way. He's like, can we call him? So I go, okay. And he's like, yeah, can we call him with the video? He wants to FaceTime Armando. So I go, okay, like, why not? Like, if you're offering.
Yeah, of course.
So we FaceTime Armando. He doesn't pick up. So Savio's like, oh, man, whatever. I was like, hey, man, I appreciate it. Like, thank you so much. Like, that was really cool of you to even offer. And I got a picture with Savio Vega because who knows? Like, I for years, I never took pictures with people because I didn't want to be the fucking mark in the locker room, you know? Now I'm too old to worry about being called a mark. So I get pictures with everybody now. And after the show, when we're back at the merch table, Savio's right next to me, to my left. And little slow period, he looks over, he goes, hey, what happened with your friend? Did he ever answer you? I go, oh, yeah, he said he was knocked out for a while. So he's, you know, but so he missed it, whatever. He's like, oh, well, we could call him now, right? He'll pick up now, right?
That's so cool.
So I'm like, yo, number one, to offer in the first place.
Yeah.
And then to remember and care enough to try it again. That is above and way above and beyond anything, like anything. I would have never asked in the first place. And this guy brings it back. So we do. We call him again. And this time he picks up. And Armando gets to have like a 5-10 minute conversation with Savio Vega. And he's talking about seeing him at Madison Square Garden, how he met him at a car dealership at a signing, you know, years ago. They had like a whole conversation. So to be able to share those moments with like people who mean something to me, especially my buddy Armando's like one of the reasons why I became such a wrestling fan when I got back into wrestling at high school age, because he was a fan. And, you know, to be able to share that with someone he genuinely is a fan of, I'm like, that makes me happy. It warms the cackles of my heart.
Look at this. The Grinch's heart grew three times in size.
Savio Vega made the Grinch's heart grow 3 sizes that day.
Oh, I fucking love it.
Thank you, Savio.
Wow, this is a nice wholesome episode we got going here.
Maybe we should stop it now. What are we, like 17 minutes in? Let's call it quits.
It's all down here, folks.
It is downhill. You know why, JoeMeZ?
Why? What you?
Let's hit the breaking news music and find out.
No, this is not a want to when you say it like that. Breaking news. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this, bro. You're not supposed to preface it like that.
2 bits of breaking news, JoeMeZ.
Oh, no.
Let's start with this one first. Hollywood's last movie star, JoeMeZ, Tom Cruise. Apparently the only one who still has name value at the box office.
Yeah.
He has signed a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery to develop and produce theatrical films, and it'll be a mix of original programming as well as franchise fare that he is going to star in. Are you excited for the Tom Cruise film universe?
Interesting. That's a very interesting thing. I wonder what exactly that means. Like, what exactly? Like, we getting Days of Thunder sequel, Cocktail? Like, what kind of what are
It
we
says
doing?
a mix of originals as well as franchise fare. So I don't know if he's already got stuff up in the old noodle or on the legal pads. I don't picture Tom Cruise as a big computer guy.
No, I don't. I wouldn't think so. I mean, we could be wrong, but I don't see
I
him
mean, he
doing
does all those Mission Impossible movies. If he learned how to drive a fighter jet for Top Gun, he probably learned how to be a hacker for Mission Impossible.
now that you mention it, that's not a bad idea. Tom Cruise is a legit spy for the government.
If you would tell me like he went to spy school, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense.
100%.
I wouldn't question it.
100%.
When you're that rich, like who's gonna tell you no?
Sometimes you just get these things in your head. You just got to do, right? Like I'm just going to do that. And you just do it. Why not?
So no word on what these movies are going to entail, whatever, outside of the obvious. But I mean, how bad could it be? My thing is, how much input did he have when they were trying to do the Monsters Dark Universe, Dark Realm, or whatever they were calling it? Because he seemed like he was going to be a major part of that. Obviously, he did that Mummy movie, which was abysmal.
Yes. It was supposed to be the jumping point. It's supposed to be the start of it.
Yeah.
So
and it was. It was also the ending point.
Yes, it did start. It did start, definitely. That's interesting. I just when people do that, like it's like, all right, let's see. I wonder if Mission Impossible didn't do so good this year. I mean, nothing did good this year. Nothing did good this year. So I don't know if it's a whole thing, but so I wonder, what he has in mind. Like, oh shit, I need a hit now. Oh shit, he might be like, oh, because for him to have a bomb, this man hasn't had a bomb. Like, come on, this guy is. Like you said, he's the one movie star we have. We really don't have.
I mean, he did do the Mummy as well. Like, you remember the Mummy, right?
Sure, but what did it make money at least? I don't even remember. Did it
I don't think so. I think it was
terrible?
I think it was both.
Everything was bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably.
Everything was awful.
All right, so that's not so. But now I'm nervous about this next news because I don't know.
See, this may be good news. I haven't decided yet. It's pretty breaking as of this recording. It's the first time I've heard it. Going into production later this year, JoeMeZ, with director Jon Favreau.
All right, we like him.
Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu, a movie feature film theatrical presentation.
But I didn't hear. I didn't hear. Okay, this is new. This is literally breaking news to me. I did not hear this at all.
This story came out today. We're recording on a Tuesday today because I forgot what days of the week are this week. And I saw this story earlier today on Variety. So this is going to be a movie, a Mandalorian and Grogu adventure coming to theaters. And it's going into production later this year.
This is very interesting. Okay.
See, now, what it makes me wonder is what's the future of the Mandalorian series now? Or is Disney getting out of the big budget series game and will focus on their movie presentations with these properties now?
So I've always heard rumors of them maybe pivoting off of this guy, Din Djarin, and doing like the other Mandalorians, because it's just the Mandalorian. It could be anyone, right? It doesn't have to be him.
And he doesn't really want to do it anymore anyway, right?
Yes, he's had enough. I get it. I think he's barely there nowadays. Like, he's just doing voiceover, and maybe there's one scene. Like, how often he don't take that helmet off? Once a year, maybe.
The last season was pretty much Katie Sackhoff's character, the Mandalorian.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's her name in that? Oh, it's gonna bother me that I can't remember.
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. That's it.
Yes, I forgot for a minute too. I said, "Wait, what is that?" Okay, wait. So
it's
maybe
fresh in my head, and whenever I get new information, it pushes something out. like Kelly Bundy. She didn't remember who scored 4 touchdowns in one game in the Chicago championship, and she lost the big trivia game.
Unbelievable. So this is crazy. So because they also they had announced they were supposed to do like the Ahsoka, like the TV show Avengers, right, where they get all their guys together for one movie. So I wonder if that is now. Interesting. That is very interesting. The only news I saw today was they cast someone for The Last of Us season 2. Like, so I was like,
one of the girls I saw.
Yeah, because there's I know the storyline. I know for the most part what happens, but there's a character introduced who's a big deal, and so they hired that lady. So which is great. She's a great actress. So all right. So I didn't see that. That's fair. I gotta see, and that starts this year. Okay.
Well,
but that's good because
it's gonna start this year. So we're
2026 probably
early 2026,
the end, probably Christmas, I would think, for that. So then this is probably the next Star, right? This gotta be the first Star Wars movie we get since the.
I would think so because the last trilogy's all wrapped up, unless they're doing a Han Solo sequel in between somewhere.
No, they never announced that. The only thing they've announced with that, I mean, they talk about, I don't know if it's announced, was there's always been rumors and talk of doing the Donald Glover doing the Lando show, like this. So not even a movie, but again, maybe they take those shows and pivot them into movies because that's where the money is, obviously. This is all right. I'm interested to see what they do for a 2-hour Mandalorian, because people are going to be happy because it's like, oh, it's just a long episode. What are we doing?
But at the same time, if you can give me a cohesive 2-hour movie, I'd probably prefer that to a lot of filler in an 8-hour series.
I agree. Yes, that's true. Oh, I'm very.
Like with that Obi-Wan show, which is probably 2 years old now at this point. We said as we were watching it, this would probably make a much tighter and more entertaining 2-hour movie. And then someone did a fan cut of it where they turned it into like a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. And it was actually really good.
Flows better. They take a lot of the bullshit out. Of course. Always going to flow better. So, all right. Well, I'm excited because, I want to go to the movies and see I want to see a Star Wars on the big screen.
Yeah, why not? And
that's what
IMAX did record numbers at the box office this year. Movies as a whole were not great. We did have a couple movies that did really big numbers, but mainly because of the success of Oppenheimer in IMAX, IMAX set record numbers at the theaters this year. So a Star Wars movie in IMAX done correctly, maybe if you get good word of mouth on top of it, I mean, the potential's there. People need to spend their money on something, some form of entertainment. Let's give them something good.
It's the goodwill because, right, everyone loves The Mandalorian, right? Like, that's the one thing people seem to be universally loved, even though the later seasons haven't been so great. I was going
to say, that's cooled down quite a bit, though.
It's cooled down, but, people really, people hate on Andor. People did not, Ahsoka.
But a lot of people like Andor.
Yes, but it's very like this. There's a group of people who are just like, this is not Star Wars. This is not.
It's a very different Star Wars show.
So I get that, but to me, Star Wars could be anything. Why does it have to be one thing?
Yeah. So that's it for the news, JoeMeZ. What do you have this week? Did you get into anything fun?
What I do this week? Nah, I ain't do nothing this week. I watched a lot of movies. I've set a little goal for myself. I used to watch lots and lots of movies back in the day, obviously before I had a child, that changes things quite a bit. So I said this year, I always have periods where I watch a lot of movies and I cool down. And so I'm trying to be consistent. I'm not going to say I'm going to watch a movie a day, although I have so far this year. I've watched at least one movie a day this year. But I want to hit 300. I haven't hit 300 movies in a year in a long time.
I would prefer if you didn't watch 300. I hate that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie. I don't love it like people love
director, it. Zack Snyder.
But that's what I like Zack Snyder because, like, I'm like 300's cool. No. What's the other one? All the other stuff. I like Zack Snyder movies. I haven't seen the new one. Have you seen Rebel Moon? Do you even know what Rebel Moon is?
No.
So Rebel Moon is Zack Snyder.
That's no moon.
So the word on the street is this guy wanted to do like a Star Wars movie. And Star Wars is like,
who doesn't?
Face. Like, no, you cannot do a Star Wars movie. So he's like, I'm gonna make my own Star Wars. So this is kind of like his kind of space opera, kind of sci-fi fantasy thing going on.
Well, that's Seth MacFarlane really wanted to make a Star Trek movie, and they were like, nah, cuz that ain't happening. So then he went out and was like, well, I'm gonna do my own Star Trek type of show. And he did 2 seasons of The Orville.
I heard that just got canceled, or it looks like it's...
Maybe they did more seasons of The Orville then. I thought it stopped at 2. That's definitely when I stopped watching it.
If they might have done a third one, but I think just like there's been hiatuses because of everything, and now they're starting to cancel things. Like now that's like, all right, the time's off. Because a few shows I've noticed been getting canceled recently. This Flag Means Death on HBO. That was a popular show with the folks.
I just saw that got canceled, and I was like, I've never even heard of this.
So that's a show. The circle like I run in Twitter, like it's a popular show, but I don't hear regular folk ever talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it got 2 seasons, when I saw there was a second season, I was like, oh really? So that doesn't surprise. But it feels like now the strike's over. It's the new year. Now we're gonna start getting some projects coming and going now. I'm excited. I want news to talk about. But yeah, so I'm going to watch a lot of movies this year. Like I said 300, 365 if I could, but no, at least 300. So I watched a bunch of movies this week, catching up on some 2023 releases I didn't get to see. There's this movie. I think you would like this movie, Joe. It's called Anatomy of a Fall. It's called Anatomy of a Fall. It's on VOD. You gotta pay your $3 for this on Amazon and Apple and stuff like this. It's a French movie, but like 80% of the movie is, listen to me, let me finish. 80% of the movie is in English. There's a very small percentage because it's about it's a family, a wife, a husband, a kid, and one day the husband is found dead outside the house from an apparent fall. He fell off the roof or some shit. We don't know exactly what happened. So it's what happened. Was he pushed? Did he fall? Obviously, the wife is a suspect. So it's a good, interesting courtroom drama. And it's also interesting because it's French. So obviously their system,
their legal system
is totally different. So it's an interesting,
is it legal to kill people, to push them off roofs?
No, that is still frowned upon.
Okay.
You do get in trouble, so that's what it is. It's a trial of did she push her husband? Maybe there was a fight earlier.
Maybe she pushed him enough mentally where he jumped.
It's possible. Oh, and the hook is there's a hook here where the only person around was the son who is blind. Oh, snap. Dun dun dun. It's good though. It's been on like some best of lists and stuff like that. So I've been hearing about it, and I thought it was a very good movie. And I just gotta tell you, there's a performance by a dog in this movie. You may think I'm joking, right? The performance when you see this movie, or if you have seen this movie, when I'm saying this to you, you're gonna be like, bro, this fucking dog. This dog has a scene where it's some of the finest acting I've seen all year, bro. I want this dog.
You just said that like it was like that episode of South Park where the school wrestling coach is like, no, this is some of the finest wrestling I've ever seen, as like someone's cutting the promo. JoeMeZ sitting there in front of his TV with his little binoculars like he's at the theater.
Bro, as soon as the C-Fest said, yo, that fucking dog can act, bro. I was like, fucking, my mind was blown. Like, you don't understand. Oh my goodness. I hope everyone watches this now. I need people to understand.
So what's this called? The Fall Guy?
Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall. And
it's
this is on VOD.
It's on VOD. Like I said, it's French, but it's in English for most of the movie because they talk English, So it's Oh man. Please check it out. Good shit.
I can't wait to see this dog.
Oh my. So that's the best thing I've watched this week. I've watched many things.
I have a hard time believing that's the best thing you watched this week. Because there was a post.
Yeah.
There was a post in our Facebook group about someone else had jumped on the train and was watching Leo. And you left a comment that I saw. Remember, check out our Facebook group and join. It's free. Just search JoeMeZ Podcast on Facebook. And Gomez left a comment saying, damn, like everyone talking up this movie, I'm going to have to trick my child into watching this now. And then I believe the next night you posted a photo yourself of your daughter glued to the TV screen.
Yes, she was.
During a screenshot of the Adam Sandler Family Classic 2023 release, Leo. So Gomez, is Anatomy of a Fall really the best thing you watched this week?
I may have misspoken. I may have.
Thank you.
So Joe mentioned I tricked my daughter. Well, so sometimes when you really want to watch a movie and you do a wheel, sometimes you got to fake the wheel, because if I said to her, hey, let's watch Leo, she'd be like, what? What's this? Huh? And even when I told her the wheel landed on Leo, she went, what's this? Can I watch the trailer? And I was like, no, it's all right. We don't need to watch the trailer. And we just put it on.
You didn't just tell her, hey, Uncle Joe loves this movie?
I did mention, I said, oh, Uncle Joe loves it. And,
because
everyone's been talking
she
about
loves Uncle Joe. Why wouldn't she want to just do it to please me?
Because she's a brat.
Oh, the worst.
Okay. So she purposely will go against you because you say it's your favorite. Like, I try to get, I'm like, hey, look, Shiloh, look, John Cena is wrestling. And she'll be like, oh, cool. And she just walk away. She don't give a shit because I like it. Kids, bro, that's what they do. So at first she's fidgeting and shit like that. But if you saw the picture in the group, I'll put it right here. Then it starts clicking and she's just like, boom, it's Leo time. And she's getting into it. We're all getting into it. My wife is over there wiping tears. Oh, this movie is so great. It's just, it was a hit, bro. The movie was a hit.
I told you. Did I not? The number 3. Do you want to redo your top 10 right now?
I might squeeze it on the top 10. It was a great movie. It's so sweet. It's just such a nice movie. Like, it's just like, this is nice. This is a great kids movie. I love this. It was really good. Thank you, Adam Sandler.
Thank you, Adam Sandler, for everything. Thank you for You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Thank you for That's My Boy. Thank you for 50 First Dates. Thank you for Punch Drunk Love. Was that even him?
Oh, that's great. I'm my boy PT, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Adam Sandler, for most things. Thank you for little Nicky. Get in the flask.
Get in the flask.
Popeye's chicken is the shit.
That's how you movie.
That's how you movie. The Sandman knows how to do it. Leo is great. Like, I was shocked. And, because it's a Sandler movie. And Sandler's in this spot now where a lot of times, let's be honest, it feels like he's just cashing those Netflix checks.
We haven't been a fan in a while. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, Hubie Halloween wasn't terrible, but we didn't love it or really, really like it. It was just
You were so not invited to My Bat Mitzvah was a big miss, even though that's more his daughter's movie than his.
Yeah, but still, he's a part of it. Like Uncut Gems, but it's not, that's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've enjoyed probably in the past 5-6 years that he's done. It makes me sad though, as all those movies you rattled off. We love the Sandman. He's the best. Come on. So this was good. I hope he can maintain this. This is good. I can't. The next one's going to be disastrous.
It's gotta be.
It's going to be right back to the bottom. We're going to be so excited for it. We'll dedicate a whole episode on it. And we're going to be like, bro, what the fuck did we just watch?
But I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad people in our group liked it.
Everyone,
People have enjoyed it with their children.
Yep.
They've enjoyed the song. People always singing the songs. It's good. It's good. It's a good movie. I'm just happy that I'm not a crazy man for liking this weird Adam Sandler animated movie.
Yes, the songs were good. It was a secret musical. They're just singing every once in a while. It's fun, catchy stuff. Oh,
I love the birthday party scene where he frees all the petting zoo animals.
Yes.
Loved it.
It was good. I'm telling you, it was good. I recommend it to everyone. And I think I mean, it's on Netflix, so that's the problem. Like something like that, I could feel like if that showed on TV every once in a while, like I can see that becoming a thing. But on Netflix, it's like, how does that become a thing? Like it's already it's weeks old at this point.
It's over and done
like
with, right?
It's already in the thing. I saw someone was on Twitter today going, "Hey, have you guys seen this Netflix show Wrestlers? This. I'm like, bro, we talked about this months ago. Like, yeah, we talked about it. Everyone talked about it for a weekend, like they did, and then it was gone. Like, what are we supposed to do? So that's the only thing that sucks. Like, this should be seen. I don't know if it would make money in the movie theater, but
I don't know because
I don't think it has that name value like that no more.
That's the thing is like when you think Adam Sandler, you don't think like Adam Sandler in the kids realm. You know what I mean? Like you probably, if you saw Adam Sandler's doing an animated feature, you'd probably be like, oh, this has got to be like some naughty word adult movie.
Sure. Like the Hanukkah movie he made, it's not
8 Crazy Nights.
It's not a kids movie, but it's not an adult, it's like in the middle. It's a mix. Sure, like a teen kind of, definitely PG-13. So 100%. So, I hope people give it a chance. If you've been on the fence, now you hear both of us gushing about it. Come on. Throw it on for your family. Even if you don't got a family, Leo will be your family.
It was mine. He's mine now.
I'm gonna get you a little pet iguana, bro. We'll call him Leo.
You don't have to.
He can sit right there next to the pops, right over there. What do you think?
There's no more pops.
Oh, I mean, right, like over there.
Just those
right
handful
there
that I kept. Yeah,
he can sit right there.
No, he's not allowed there. He's not allowed near my collectibles.
But he's important. That looks like an important shelf. I figured a Leo should be on there too.
No. JoeMeZ didn't really watch a lot this weekend, so I just have our big time movie of the week. And like you said with Leo, maybe it needs to play on TV. This movie was a TV movie on the Disney Channel.
Yes, it was.
At the time, it was the most watched premiere on the Disney Channel, brought in 7.7 million viewers for the premiere.
Crazy.
It's called High School Musical.
Crazy. And that's a movie, like, that's a lot of people for. It's not like it's part 2. This is just the first, like, hey, we're just having an original movie with some singing and dancing. Come on in. Who are these kids? These kids ain't nobody.
No, and they're all unknowns at this point.
That's crazy. For such hype for that. Wow.
So this movie comes out in 2006, runs 1 hour and 38 minutes, and according to IMDb, a popular high school athlete and an academically gifted girl get roles in the school musical and develop a friendship that threatens East High's social order. That's a fine enough synopsis.
It's the basics without getting into too much detail. Sure.
So this movie stars Zac Efron as Troy, Vanessa Hudgens as Gabriella, Ashley Tisdale as Sharpay, and the legendary Corbin Bleu.
God bless him.
As Chad.
Love it.
And the origin behind this movie is based on the original script to Grease 3, which was going to be a late 90s movie that was supposed to star Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake as the children of Danny and Sandy.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
The script got put on the shelf before the second rewrite, and then it got resurrected and kind of repurposed as High School Musical. And they did it away from the whole Grease thing. That way they didn't have to go out and get the rights to it.
Yeah,
so they
sure.
repackaged it a little bit. So we get all these people. Troy meets Gabriella on a family cruise during summer vacation. It just so happens that she's changing schools. And she ends up at the same school as Troy. How did it possibly happen?
Crazy coincidence. Wow. Fate. The world works funny ways.
Sometimes the universe just has a way of working itself out. I did not see this movie originally, probably like 6 months after the fact, where it needed to be explained to me what High School Musical was. And like in 2006, I'm watching.
No, yeah, it was a thing. Yeah.
24 years old. I definitely was not watching the Disney Channel.
Yeah, 100%.
And then someone explained it to me. I ended up watching it and I go, well, this movie is a lot of fun. And I immediately downloaded the soundtrack. I had it on my iPod video at the time, 30 gigabytes, baby.
Woo!
I'd put that in my back pocket and walk around work with my little earbuds in and singing the songs. Get your head in the game. We gotta get it. Heads in the game. Come on, get your head in the. That's right. And the soundtrack, JoeMeZ, way popular during the first week of release. It debuts at number 143 on the Billboard 200. Very modest, right?
Yeah.
But it goes on to sell 4.1 million copies, becoming the highest selling album of 2006.
Crazy. But
this movie
came out before, and then the movie popped off, right? And I was like, we got to get that album.
This movie starts out hot, 7.7 million viewers for the premiere, right? And then goes on to just blow everything out of the water, all expectations. The budget on this movie was $4.2 million because the sets are very basic. It's your basic high school. So we use the gym here, a classroom here, a basketball court there. And then this goes on, the highest selling CD of 2006. 1.2 million DVDs sold in the first week.
Woo! Damn.
Over 8 million sold total to date. 8 million copies of this movie sold on DVD. And of course, they got to merch the shit out of it now that it's popular. We get books. We've had probably 6 different video games. We've had different TV series, sequels, all this stuff. Birthday decorations. That way you could dress up your kitchen like High School Musical.
I remember it being hot, but wow, that was woo.
This was so hot. Now the reason Disney decided to do a musical in the first place, they didn't really think there was a market for it.
Yeah, it's very random in 2006.
In 2002, they had a show called Even Stevens.
Yes,
that did a musical episode titled Influenza the Musical.
Great episode.
And that singular episode became very, very popular. There's a lot of chatter about that episode. So they said, hey, you know what? Let's do this with another show. So they end up doing a musical episode with That's So Raven, which also did really, really well, got a lot of good feedback. So that's when they decide maybe there's more to musicals than we really expected. And that's when they kind of greenlit, like, go ahead and do High School Musical. High School Musical was only supposed to be a working title. And then because no one could think of anything better, they just kept it.
That's right. That totally is a working title. You could totally tell. 100%. That's funny.
This is filmed at East High School in Salt Lake City, Utah, where to this day, students still use Sharpay's pink locker that we see featured in the movie.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
That's cool. Must be an honor.
I remember liking this movie when I first did get around to it. What's your first experience with High School Musical?
Yeah, so I have a little brother, younger brother. So he was, close to 10 years old at this time. So Disney Channel was something I was on sometimes. So I remember it being a thing. Like I said, I do remember it being a thing. I don't remember it being super crazy huge like you're talking. That's crazy. But So I didn't see this until I believe 2009 when I started doing my movie a day, and I did a movie month of musicals where we just did musicals, and I said, now's the perfect time. Let's watch this High School Musical. And we watched it and we loved that shit. Watched the first one, watched all three. All three were out at the time. We were like, let's go. We had a good time. So yeah.
I remember going to a party for part 2 and part 3. We had High School Musical 2 and 3 watch parties.
He went from why would High School Musical be on my radar to fucking going to parties, bro. Amazing.
These are big facts.
I fucking love it.
Like decorated, like someone went out and went to Party City and bought all the decorations and put them up on the wall. We had a High School Musical good time.
Oh, I fucking love it.
But it's been a while since I watched this movie.
Yeah, no.
And it's been a while since I've listened to the soundtrack. Obviously, my 30 gig iPod video does not. It actually
no
got
more,
stolen.
Sadly. Oh no!
I will say, for the people that still have iPods, those things seem virtually indestructible. They charge right up and they start playing whatever's still downloaded on them.
I still have a Nano. Works pretty damn good. Love it.
So I haven't watched it in a while. As I watched it, it's on the Disney Channel. If you haven't watched it yet, if you want to go back, I would say definitely check it out. I think it's worth a watch. If you haven't seen this, this is Zac Efron's big breakout, right? This is what we can attribute it to. And obviously he's done a lot more things since and has kind of built himself up. We've got him doing 17 again. We've gotten him doing Bad Grandpa.
Yes.
Neighbors. All the things that people know Zac Efron for. And then don't forget, he was in The Greatest Showman. Exactly.
Yes,
so we got him doing more musicals again.
Yes.
And I thought he was great in The Greatest Showman.
Everything's great about The Greatest Showman.
I mean, the story is very far from the actual truth, but if you can let that
Who
go.
Who cares? I don't care about the real story. I'm enjoying the movie. I don't give a shit. What fun is that? He's a piece of shit. All right, I get it. Like, what do we do?
But Zac Efron has gone on to become a huge, massive movie star at this point. 100%. He's doing big movies. Obviously, just did The Iron Claw most recently. And when you look at the other people on this list, it's not crazy to think that, oh, you know what? They're all going to be stars at some level. And it feels like everyone's just kind of tapered out. Vanessa Hudgens kind of had a run for a little bit.
Yeah.
But even that feels like it's kind of done. I couldn't even tell you what else she's done or what she's doing now. When I look at Ashley Tisdale and Corbin Blue's IMDb, there's a lot of like cartoon voice work, but really not a lot on either one of their resumes. It's not like they've had like real big projects since then. And Corbin Blue was going to be like that next big Disney kid. It felt like he was going to get that push and just never happened. And then last week I talked about my man Zeke, who makes the creme brulee. It wasn't Corbin Blue. It was Chris Warren, who is the actor who plays Zeke in this movie.
I love it.
So we get the story of Troy and Gabriella. They end up at the school together, and they sang karaoke together on the boat. Now they think they may want to join the school play, but the evil Sharpay and her brother Ryan do not want to be upstage. They are the big stars in the drama club, and they want to be. They do not want Troy and Gabriella stealing their spotlight. What I find a little weird, they're not twins. They're never said like, "Hey, we're Ryan and Sharpay and Ryan are twins." They're brother and sister, but like they act like they have this long legacy of starring in all the high school productions. Like you don't have that many time. Like how many productions can a high school put? Usually it's one. Usually it's one per year.
Usually one but maybe this is a special school.
It's a special drama club only high school.
That's it. Yes, it's a drama school. That's all we do here.
And then you have the girl Kelsey who writes all the songs. And let me tell you, if you're this girl Kelsey who's writing all the songs and she's like the playmaker, right? Because she's making everyone look good.
Yes.
What the fuck are you doing at some little high school in Utah? You got to get that shit on the radio, girl. That breaking free song is fire. You don't have an agent?
No, she's in Utah. She don't know.
Someone's got to know someone at some point. Like even her acting instructor, the teacher who runs the acting club, she's got to know someone in a different school, in a bigger school, in a larger city. Just pass along, hey, this girl writes good songs. Maybe have Taylor Swift sing this breaking free song. See how it goes.
Oh, and that seems like a town where they're like, she's doing a cute little thing. Oh yeah, like they don't think this is how you make a living.
You know, even people sing each other's songs all the time. Like Miss Independent was originally written for Christina Aguilera, and she was like, "Nah, I think I'm gonna pass on that one," and it becomes Kelly Clarkson's first big hit.
Smash it, so fucking good.
And now we've had like 2 decades of Kelly Clarkson awesomeness since then.
God bless. She's just the best. I love it. Love her.
We get those karaoke covers like once a month or something. They're great.
No, she does it every show.
Is it every show?
That's how she starts every show with a karaoke.
I feel like then not all of them must be great because I feel like there's some of them that get like retweeted and stuff a lot.
Sure.
It's like, you gotta hear this one.
Because she does so many, so she'll do interesting choices. Like she'll be like, I want to do this song that you ain't never heard of, once in a while, because you doing fucking 20 shows a month, whatever, you gotta fill some thing in there.
So we get the dichotomy of the athlete and the brainy girl who are trying to do their own things and then trying to be in the drama club at the same time, but they don't want to get that blowback from the people in their cliques because they're going to be looked down upon and not be high school cool for being in the school play. So it's like, can they do both at the same time?
Let me sneak around, but totally neglect my number one thing so that everyone hates me. Like, how is anyone going to be okay with your decision when you are totally doing it in the worst way possible?
But by the same token, are these people really your friends if you're worried about them judging you for wanting to go sing in the play? I auditioned for a school play because I don't give a fuck what people think. And you know what? I did a lovely British accent that I didn't know I even had until I was on that stage in the audition and just started speaking it into existence. I didn't get the part, but at least I went and tried. And then I went home and my mom's like, why are you home so late? And I'm like, oh, I auditioned for the school play. And she did. You? I said, I can be British. She's like, well, did it call for a British person? I was like, no, it didn't. But as an actor, I decided
creative choice. That's it.
I was trying to get in my character, and I decided in the moment that this person has an accent.
Oh, so funny.
It was almost like the time the band Bush, Gavin Rossdale's band back in the day. They were doing an open casting call when I was like 15 to be in like one of their new music videos. And they're like, oh, you got to come dressed all grungy and whatever. So I call, I get my name on the list, and it's just, I'm all I want to do is be in this video because I know that once I'm in this video, I'm going to turn into a teen heartthrob. I'm going to be on the cover of Tiger Beat. Girls are going to be finger popping themselves to my photos. Like, I know that I have thought this into existence. What?
Oh no, I get it. Yeah, you just needed the opportunity. Just get the eyes on you. All I
needed was a chance. You give me the chance, I'll knock it out of the park. That's what I do. And all of us, I'm going to be a teen idol here. Leif Garrett, David Cassidy, Joe Shoes. It's science. Kirk Cameron, you can put him up there. Not now, but then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know more, bro.
Zac Efron. I could have been an old Zac Efron.
Oh, you could have did the body swip with it. You could have been in 17 again.
I could have been 17 again.
Oh my God, those bastards.
But you would think, if you're a real good friend, you would say, Troy, I understand you're the captain of the Wildcats basketball team, and we've got the big city championship coming up. but I hope you dance. I want you to sing. I want you to be happy because you my friend. JoeMeZ, I would say that to you.
Of course. Thank you.
If you said, you know what, I may not be able to do the pod this week because I want to audition for the musical. I said, JoeMeZ, you go do that. I'll just do the show by myself.
I got this.
It'll be here when you get back. You probably won't get the part either.
That's you're supposed to encourage me.
Well, I'm just being realistic. You know,
well, no, you're supposed to get me pumped up for the audition. Then you slowly bring me back down to earth when I'm done. But when
JoeMeZ,
I'm done,
I hope you have a great time.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure
nervous.
You'll be great.
I'm nervous, but I think I got this. I got it.
I'm not good at being a friend. I'm good at being me. I'm just not good at being supportive of other people. I need the support. I'm very greedy. Maybe I'll need less support as time goes. Thankfully, silver lining, I'm all out of parents. So it's not like I'm going to always need support.
Well, now you need it more than ever. You need.
But hopefully we can taper it down. Now there'll be some support we can spread out. We can ration the support.
Okay, I'll ration it from now on.
Yeah. You know, like the gas crisis. Like only people whose license plates end in odd numbers get to get gas today.
That shit never works. The line is down the block. People are fighting. It's a disaster, bro.
If your last name ends in a vowel, you get support today.
It's like, oh my God.
A through M, you're up for support.
Oh,
so I think Troy has some bad friends. I think Gabriella has some bad friends. And then the bad friends realize they're being bad friends. So they come up with a scheme. That way she can make her academic decathlon. Troy can make his championship game. And they don't even get to be in the play. All they're doing is the callback for the audition.
Yes. It's very funny.
It's like we could have said to the teacher, hey, like, I'd really like to do this, but I have this city championship basketball game and she's got this academic thing going on. What if we just do it like an hour later?
Plus, like those schools, the basketball, the sports, that's their thing. Everything should be shut down while that is happening. Like nothing should be happening while that basketball game is up.
Like I just spent the week with Heath. And we're talking about high schools and stuff, and he was telling us he played football and basketball and baseball in high school. But like when he had a football game, town shut down.
Yeah.
And it was about the local high school. I'm from New York, so that doesn't exist. No one gave a shit about high school or college sports. No one cares. The people in the school don't care.
No one gives a shit.
But he's telling me, he's like, man, the whole town shut down. And if you haven't already seen it, go to Mark Sterling ESQ on Twitter. He kept a running thread all weekend of just weird shit Heath was saying, if you just want to laugh.
It's very long and wonderful.
I sent it to JoeMeZ, and at one point he goes, how is there this many tweets and it only started 3 hours ago?
And now it's 24 hours later. I'm like, there's so much to go through. I loved it. Loved every second of it.
So they work out a way where they're gonna cut the power. That way the kids can leave their events, do the callback, which somehow has power in that room of the school. And then they'll run back and finish up their events. What gets me is at the end, we see Troy and he gets to win the basketball game. And then Gabriella comes running in and she's like, oh my God, you did it. I'm so happy for you. And he goes, so what happened with your thing? Did that go okay too? Like at that point, it just becomes about Troy's basketball game. We totally forget like Gabriella is in the middle of like some kind of mathathon.
Yeah.
And
I always forget.
And it's just like it's a throwaway. Like, oh, how'd that go? She's like, oh yeah, I won too. And he's like, hey, all right, everybody's a winner.
Everybody wins.
And then we get a nice song to celebrate. So there's High School Musical. What a time, what a period. We end up getting 3 High School Musical movies. According to Corbin Blue, he says the main characters see each other often.
That's nice. That's cool. I love
and that they all are on board to do a reunion. It's just a matter of getting everyone together.
Of course. If Zac Efron is available, please, Zac, come back.
I know. Remember when Zac Efron did, it wasn't even that long ago, he did that weird show about going around the world and stuff?
Yes, he just was like, I'm going to do a show where I just travel and eat things and hike and do stuff. It's so funny. There's a lot of shows like that. People really are into that shit. I guess because it's traveling, right? People
I get it. It's just, it was weird for Zac Efron to be doing it.
I don't know. You need a handsome face. I mean, come on. Well, what better?
You could have done, it could have been 34 again. I could have had another opportunity to be old Zac Efron. We could have gone together.
Poor Joey. Never got his shot. It's bullshit.
Gomez, what do you say we hit some music?
Oh.
Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our man? Are you our man?
Oh, baby. High School Musical 2006 smash hit. Oh, baby. What are you giving this on your main man standings?
It's crazy to look back now and think this is number one 18 years ago.
Yes, almost 20 years old.
And I'm talking about having an iPod, which was state-of-the-art technology at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially the video ones, like, oh my God, I could have videos in my pocket. We were still operating on flip phones.
Like, I was gonna say, do we have Nokias yet? Or were we
still had Nokias. We might have had the Sidekick would have been out at that point.
Okay.
I think at that time, I probably would have had like the LG phone, which was one of the early camera phones.
What about Blackberries, right?
Blackberries were probably around at that point. You know what's funny about the Blackberry? I've just started rewatching The Newsroom, the HBO show with Jeff Daniels. Sure. I remember watching it a few years ago. I enjoyed it, but it came up unsuggested when I opened Max the other day. And I watched that opening episode, and it's the very famous scene that you've seen played on all social media, where it's like, if the media told you the truth, and it's Jeff Daniels going off about how America is not the greatest country anymore, but it could be, and blah, 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 blah. And this thing gets played everywhere. And then when you finally watch the show, if you've never watched it before, very good show. It's a news drama about like an actual news broadcast and the way they're deciding to cover the news, and they're trying to be more actual news than entertainment. And it's amazing how I believe that show's from 2000, and it's probably like over 10 years old now at this point.
Like 2010, 11.
Yeah. Probably. But everything has just gotten, everything they're speaking about, like which were problems at the time in mainstream news, has just gotten progressively worse to today's world.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting thing. But the importance of the BlackBerry in this show is everyone has a BlackBerry because they need to have access to their emails and everything. There's such an importance placed on the BlackBerry. It was the businessman's greatest tool at the time.
Yes, it was. Hell yeah.
And then I remember eventually I transitioned to a BlackBerry.
I had one, yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was great for the time. I was able to have my own ringtone. I had the theme song to Who's the Boss. So every time my phone would ring, there's a choice, there's a path you take and a path not taken. The choice is up to you, my friends. It was really cool. And I could go on the internet and search things. What?
It was really cool. Who's the boss team?
Who's the boss team? I can't figure out how to change the ringtone on my iPhone. I just have that default ringtone everybody else. I want to keep putting the Who's the Boss team. It makes me happy.
You can have that. They got lots of them. They still do it.
And in this newsroom show, someone's got a Rod Stewart song as their ringtone, and it's like we forget like how cool ringtones were back in the
Yeah,
day.
bro. It's the
Like I remember I
best.
used to buy a bunch of them, and then each person would get assigned different
Everyone had their
ringtones.
own phone. Yep, of course, baby. Now fucking silence. That phone better not fucking ring or else.
But when this movie came out, like I said, by the time I first saw it, I thought it was really good. I thought it was really entertaining. I enjoyed the songs. I wouldn't necessarily classify myself as a musical person, but I found a lot of entertainment in this, and I found the songs really catchy. So by the time the movie ended, I remember liking it very much. And now going back and watching this movie probably for the first time in, I don't know, 15 years, probably realistically,
Yeah.
I still enjoy this movie a lot. I think it's a good time. I think the people in the movie are cast well in the spots they're in. I think the movie does a good job of moving along the story and getting you from point to point to point and keeping it flowing, keeping it entertaining, keeping it light and fun. It's very wholesome. It's very much a Disney movie. You're not
Yes,
going to
it is.
find anything
No.
even remotely offensive here. I guess people will try to make, if they want to be a dick about things, they'll try to make the character of Ryan, oh, he's gay. He's obviously gay. He is for the sake of
And
this movie, but they don't even bring attention to it.
no big deal. Yeah.
There's stuff cut out of the movie that actually addressed Ryan as
Oh,
being
really?
gay. Yeah. But that stuff was cut out of the movie. So, yeah, you may get the hint of it, but it's never actually formally addressed and never becomes an actual plot point. He's just a guy who loves the theater.
Okay.
But I still like this movie a lot. I had a really good time rewatching it. All the songs were coming back to me as they were kicking
Yes,
in.
that's always the best.
The one in the lunchroom, oh, no, no, no,
Yes.
stick to the status quo.
Status quo. Yep. It's
That
a
one was-
hysterical song.
It's
I like
really
it.
good.
I love hip hop.
Yeah, I want to pop and lock.
So fucking
So
good.
I had a good time with this movie. I really, really did. I think this is good. It's definitely the best of the 3 High School Musical movies. I remember being very disappointed with 2, and I enjoyed 3, but not to the extent that I enjoy this. And that probably has a lot to do with the low expectations you have for the first one, right?
Sure, it's a
Like
surprise hit. Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
It's a surprise hit. It's very hard to recapture when you have that kind of momentum out of nowhere with something. But to this day, I still enjoy this movie. I'm gonna give it a quadruple main man 4 stars.
I'm right there with you. I'm gonna give it 3.5. This movie's a lot of fun. Like you said, I love watching a musical that you haven't seen in a while, and you're like, oh, I remember that song, and then one song, like, oh yeah, that's right, I remember that. It's the best. I'm a musical guy. The musical numbers are fun. It's like you said, it is a Disney movie through and through, so it's a little corny, but it's cute. It's fun. It's happy. It's wholesome. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It's like I said, it's a very wholesome episode. From top to bottom. It's very sweet. We watch a lot of sweet stuff, except for the murder in the French movie. But everything else is very sweet, very wholesome stuff this week.
The blind boy pushing his dad off the roof.
Who knows what happened?
Never trust the blind. You can never tell if they're looking at you in the eye.
Oh, goodness gracious. Good start.
Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie a 67%, which I thought was pretty good for the kind of kitschy movie that it is. The audience score is a 74%, which I think checks out, right? I was surprised. The IMDb score on this is only a 5.5 out of 10.
Really? Oh, interesting.
But I think, especially if you ask people who were coming of age at that time, who would have been part, like, this is probably a very, like, oh, yeah, that was my shit when I was a kid.
100%. This is a lot of people's shit.
100%.
100%. People like us, you know, that I can see them, oh, it's just corny. It's too corny. It's too whatever. But it's a fucking Disney TV movie. Hello. It's good. All right. So musical month starting off good, baby.
I'm excited. I like musical month because it puts me in a good mood. Usually we get those upbeat songs like the Wonka movie that just came out. Very upbeat, positive messages, making me cry, breaking my heart, making me feel alive. And that's what this musical does.
Ooh, baby. This week, Joe, we're gonna head to the movie theaters. It's been a while.
Can't wait.
A long while. We're gonna check out Mean Girls. It's the musical. It doesn't say it anywhere on the poster or the trailers or anything like that. Oh, does it real small?
Well, one of the marks in like the font of Mean Girls is actually a music note.
Oh,
so
okay. Like,
I mean, they're not telling. It's not Mean Girls the musical, but they're kind of putting hint like, "Hey, this is a musical."
Because I wonder how many people are gonna sit in that theater this weekend
and walk right out.
Just to see, like, oh, I'm here to see a Mean Girls reboot, and all of a sudden they're starting to sing. Because that's the thing, right? They say people don't like musicals, so they don't know how to market musicals. Well, I don't know. Surprising someone into watching a musical, I don't think is a good idea.
Not necessarily the best strategy. Yeah,
like, I don't know. So I'm very interested to see. This is based, right? They did like a Broadway or off-Broadway show for a little bit. I think Tina Fey wrote that also, so I think she came back here. Did she direct it too? I think she's doing everything again.
Ooh, that I don't know.
You know, because I know she helped write it. She's in the movie. Tim Meadows is in the movie, reprising their roles. So I'm very interested. Mean Girls, we love it. It's one of our movies. So this is
20-year anniversary this year.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You know,
it's crazy.
It's funny. Like we keep talking. One of the overriding themes of this show, if you guys have listened for a while, is me and JoeMeZ constantly being reminded of how old we've gotten. And Mean Girls turning 20 is definitely one of those things.
That's a holy shit, bro. That movie, 20 years old. What? There's a whole bunch. This is a year that goes, whoa, what the fuck?
Like the first, I saw Star Wars relatively late in life compared to most people my age. Like I didn't see it till I was 14. So that's 1995. That movie was considered old at that point. It was only 18 years old. Like it wasn't even a 20-year-old movie. Star Wars was not 20 years old yet, but was still considered old. Now Mean Girls is older now than Star Wars was then when I was the last person in class to see Star Wars.
We're old, Joe, but these old men will be heading to the movie theaters. I'm excited to see what the crowd's going to be. One, is there a demand for a Mean Girls reboot?
Yeah.
Like, is this a thing that
I mean, we did get the Super Bowl commercial last year to kind of test the waters, I guess, kind of whet the appetite. It's marketed for people in our age group. We are that demographic now. So I would think if people are still interested in going to the movies, I think this movie will have a respectable showing. I don't know what's considered good or not. I don't really know what the budget is on this, but I would say maybe a $20 million opening. That's that sounds like in the realm, right?
I mean, I would think maybe a little more, but then when you say it, like, I'm like, but how much more? Like, really? Like, I get it. Like,
we've had big budget movies where they're like, oh, we did 30 million. And I don't think Mean Girls is going to do like 50. Like, I don't see Mean Girls doing 50.
I did a quick little Google search here, and you're right on the money here. It says that it's tracking for about a 20 million, maybe 30 million if you count in the Martin Luther King holiday.
See?
You know, so an extra day. So yeah, so that's crazy. It's saying that if it makes 50 million, that's probably for the whole run, not for the weekend. That 50 million for the run is probably.
I was gonna say if it made 50 million opening weekend, it's a certifiable hit at that point.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Like 20 million doesn't sound like a lot because now we've been ingrained in this culture where the big movies make $100 million opening weekend. We're so used to the superhero box office bonanzas and stuff. But that is a world that doesn't exist any longer. And especially not when the big release is a Mean Girls reboot.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. We'll have all, our double main man Joe here. We'll have all the box office numbers and we'll review the movie next week. So I'm looking forward to that. I come with
notes. Lots of them. Look at all those High School Musical notes you got today.
Good shit. Well, Joe, we got to wrap this episode up here.
So how do we do it now? How do we do it in 2024?
So we're gonna debut a new Big Finish version 2.0 working title. Next week we're gonna debut that. But for this week, you had suggested. You said, "Hey, how about we end an episode with a Lothario of Love?" So let's wrap it up with that.
Hit it.
Aye, Poppy. It's love advice with the Lothario of Love.
Yeah, baby. It's time for the Lothario of Love. Are you ready, Joe, to help one of our fellow passengers with some love advice?
Well, I could tell by my half-filled bottle of Courvoisier that it's time to answer a question and get out of here. So ask away, JoeMeZ.
So here we go. It's an anonymous post, We like to keep it that way. If you have any questions, you send them on our way. Don't worry, we won't reveal your name. We'll keep it secret. Don't you worry.
That way you can tweet to us at JoeMeZ, hashtag Lothario of Love. But we'll keep it anonymous.
I was thinking more sliding into the DMs, but you figure it out, folks.
No, use the hashtag Lothario of Love.
Lothario of Love. I'm in a loving relationship with my partner, and everything is great. We love each other, we support each other, and we have a pretty good sex life, if I say so myself. There's only one particular thing about our sex life that I think I need some help on. Almost every time I have sex, I fantasize about someone else. I'm usually thinking about someone I'm attracted to, someone I've had sex with in the past, even a porn I've watched. It's never the person I'm with. And to be honest, I kind of feel guilty about it. What should I do, Lothario of Love? Is this okay? Is this a form of cheating to be thinking about someone when I'm in the most intimate of situations? What do you think here, Lothario of Love?
First things first, you do not have a good relationship.
It might not be as good as they think, huh?
What is so good about this relationship if you got to think of someone else to get off whenever you're together?
It's not once in a while. They said
every time. Imagine that your significant other is just there for the physicality while you daydream about somebody else. Listen, I'm someone who loves love. That much is known worldwide. And I'm going to be honest. How dare you keep this person hanging on when you do not even have real feelings for them? This is garbage. Not only are you cheating, you're lying, you're deceitful, and I hate you.
Oh, laying down the smack. I love it.
That person deserves so much better. They deserve to be in a relationship with someone who wants to be with them. And you go find one of those people you're daydreaming about. And you know what? I hope they don't love you.
Oh, you heard it there, folks. The Lothario of Love does not take kindly to cheating in any form. Oh, my goodness.
No, that's just deceitful and it's mean. And I don't want that. When you're in a relationship of any kind, you should want to be with that person. I'm not saying you can't watch porn. I'm not saying you can't go out and rub one out when no one's looking. Maybe you hide in the closet and take a sock with you. Because then you can put that sock, you can reuse that sock. It's not like you're getting rid of the sock. The sock can be washed. You can reuse that sock. But the fact of the matter is, when you're with that person, you want to think about that person and your enjoyment of having that person, the closeness, the bond that you have in that moment. You should only be focused on that person.
He's like, the sex life's pretty good. I'm having sex with a different lady every night. It's wonderful. It's like
that's one of the worst ones we've ever had.
He needed your help. Well, he got it, bro. He got it.
I don't know if he would classify it as help, but he got a stern talking to.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Oh, let's get out of here, Joe.
Guys, thanks for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Thanks for following us all through 2023 and now into 2024, and even from before and after and wherever else we go. Thank you for all the support that you guys have shown me recently. Like I said, things have been up and down, but we're doing okay. I'm going to be okay. And I appreciate knowing that I have this community of people who really does have my back in many ways. It's very, very, it makes someone really appreciate the what they do have, and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you for voting for me for Major Bendy's Figure of the Year and making sure I get this hot plaque that I can hang in a very specific place in my bathroom. That way everyone can see it when they come over. Very excited about that. And remember to hit that subscribe button wherever it is that you're listening to this podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube. Remember to leave some comments, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hit that follow button there. Follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. You can check out my personal stuff at the Joe Shoes, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, X, Blue Sky, all the hot spots. I'll be at Toy Hio coming up the first week of February. I'll probably be in Philadelphia at the end of March for WrestleMania weekend with the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. Baby. Don't quote me on that. I'm just assuming, but you know what happens when you assume.
I'm the JoeMeZ154, Instagram and Twitter. Check out that Twitch stream, Mez Movie. I might be hopping on, right? I'm talking about I'm watching a lot of movies. Come watch a weird movie with me, maybe. You never know. Come on.
So we'll be back next week, continuing musical month here on the JoeMeZ podcast. We're going to the theaters. We're seeing the Mean Girls reboot, and I can't wait. So Gomez, what do you say we make like Tom and Cruise?
Peace.